So the richest dog in the world is worth about $373 million. And that's because it got the money from some German Contessa. First of all, what rich German is there so I can fuck him? I need $373 million as well. Just saying.
Battle the sexes.
Oh yeah, welcome back to Battle of the Sexes. Battle of the Sexes.
Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one break time podcast show, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is Denver B, and episode 18, everybody. This is like the we are turning into adulthood episode, but we need to head right into this shit because I don't even think we got enough time for this. So apparently over the weekend, actually on Friday, what was it, Thursday or Friday, we had this whole thing about Konshens putting up a post. For those of you that don't know Konshens is a Jamaican artist, globally known and very, very well loved, especially by the ladies. So he put up this post kind of apologizing to his wife for not being a very good husband, cheating on her, the fact that she had to live through a whole lot that he did and that he put her through, and wishes her the best. And also kind of wished that, if any man has a woman that treats him very well, that he should hold them close as a man. And it generated a hell of a lot of buzz on Instagram, on Twitter. People went all out. And it kind of got people talking one way or another. So I figured, why not come and cover this? Because there's some shit we need to put down here. Because first of all, I seem to have a problem with the way some people are busy taking this whole thing. Now, if I go into the screenshots, what did he say? So he was like, you will wake up and grow up when she already gone. All she did was bring me the greatest happiness, only rivaled by me kids' births. Stick by me no matter what and who going against me. Stop me from kill myself countless times after me brother drop out and me get fucking unstable. And cancel me when the world come down upon me. Put up with countless fuckery and handle it all with class and maintain respect and protect me image. Love me daughter like she is yours and grow her into lady. Transform my mindset financially and show me say the way I was handling money all those years were totally wrong. Match me perfectly spiritually and physically. Partner with me in business and life. And me still find so many ways me make this fuck up. This is what happened when a little Jack get a queen. This is a message to all men. Step out of yourself and look upon your life. Look what really important and don't make Jetek back me blessing. Then he goes on, he's like, me no want no sympathy. And yes, I had to post this because I also me vet. Me have few friends, but none. I'm me friend, them na go. Fuck. I have legit tried speaking in this guy's accent, but alright, let me revert back to default settings. So he said, he doesn't want any sympathy, and yes, he had to post this because he had to vent because he has very few friends, but none of his friends are going to say that a lot of pussy will fuck up your life. Just like how we grow and talk about feelings, and me losing my friends, man, so, fuck. Frankly, I'm even tired of translating this shit, but bottom line is, he put up this post, and he spoke quite well about his wife, and he was mainly talking about, not taking the women that you love for granted, not taking your girlfriend, your wife, I don't know, maybe he included friends with benefits there, for granted, for all the things that they actually do for you. Because, they hold you down, they stick by you, and it became this talk of, I'd probably say the second half of last week into going to the weekend. And it made me question quite a bit. One, why do men cheat on women? Like, I have kind of explained it once, but I feel as though we need to go back to this because people make a lot of mistakes, and I feel that sometimes people are crucified for mistakes that, yes, they were made, but once you understand the nature of them, you can kind of understand why they were made. So when this guy kind of brought out this whole message, it made sense, why you would do that. As a man, he came to the realization that out of all that he's done, out of all the women that he's been with, out of all the friends that he's had, his wife has held him down. Fine, yes, the wife left him, I think about a year ago or something, or at the beginning of this year. Yeah, it was around the beginning of this year. And he's kind of decided to put it up that, I appreciate what you did for me. You held it down for so long. You did so much. You helped my image. You took care of my kids. And I never gave you as much respect as you deserved. Which, by all means, if any man actually does that, I give him respect. Especially after your woman leaves you, I give you respect. Because that means that you acknowledge that you did wrong. You acknowledge that you screwed the fuck up and you want to become a better man. And it does kind of seem like a very noble thing to do. But, well, because this is the internet and people never like it when people strive, people were all up on Instagram, Twitter, busy talking about this whole thing. Oh, Konshens this, Konshens that. So I decided to go and single out a couple of situations and a couple of statements that seemed to pique my interest. So the first one actually came from a guy, and I'm gonna be honest with you on this one. This one particularly hit at me from the wrong direction, especially because it came from a guy. Yes, by guy I mean man. It came from a male human being, a grown male human being. So he was like, I really don't understand. Men will legitimately drag you through hell because they know that you'll put up with it. And then when you shock them by getting fed up one day, they come on Instagram to embarrass you by announcing how much clownery you can take. This is not it. Yuck. I will speak on that in a second. And I need to put someone on fire today. I need to bring some heat to people. And I'm going to explain why. So the other one came from a lady. She was like, why do some men wait until they completely mess it up to realize they had a good thing with someone? Oh yeah, and just so you know, all of these comments, all of these questions were like retweets, posts that were made by different people, not necessarily affiliated with Break Time on Westside. But anyways, so she was like, why do some men wait until they completely mess it up to realize they had a good thing with someone? Why wait for someone to be so done with you, then try to right your wrongs? I'ma be straight up and honest with y'all. I think it's because y'all don't understand what it's like being a very successful man. Hell, maybe even I don't know. But I was listening to an interview that was being done by with this guy called Jordan Peterson. Actually, it was a lecture done by a clinical psychologist called Jordan Peterson. Now let me sound learned for a second, because I'm referencing him. And he was talking about the sex scandals that were occurring at the time of, Tiger Woods, Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit. And he kind of was on their side to some extent, but he kind of explained why a lot of these successful men do tend to cheat. And his explanation actually made a lot of sense. So he was like, for someone like Tiger Woods, he is someone who will be playing golf. Like, let's say he's doing one of the championships and he's playing all 18 home runs or some shit. Yeah, he's shooting 18. So he's playing, like the whole 18 ball games and shit. I don't know how the hell we define golf, by the way. And while he's busy doing that, like let's say he's on the final one. He's on number 18. He's about to whack the ball. So he hits the ball and it goes in. This guy is already being celebrated. Like where the ball is landing, there's already a whole group of beautiful women, some of them models, just busy standing there, busy parading for him, waiting for him to come through. When the guy goes and receives his trophy, he's around a ton of women. And I'm not saying that, all these women that are usually there are like slutting or trying to sleep with a guy, but they're usually just there. And some of them actually do want to sleep with the likes of Tiger Woods. some of them do want to sleep with Tiger Woods. So obviously, at first, it seems a lot easier to refuse. But you find that it's not just Tiger Woods, even NBA players, American football players, footballers, all these celebrities, all these hyper successful men, they have a whole lot of women that are around them that are trying to get with them. And it's not very easy to refuse because as a man, when you actually think about it, we've been raised in the whole, we are the hunters and we have to go and get the girl. So it's kind of been set up against us in a sense. And we're always in this state whereby we're always trying to get the girl and we always want to get the girl. So when you have a whole bunch of women that are going for you because you're hyper successful, it's not very hard to say no. Because when you kind of look at it in reality, there's all these guys, there's a whole majority of guys, a very, very large majority, 90-something% of guys that are mostly average and they get so little of the women. Women don't really rush to them. And then we have this very, very tiny percentage, 2-3%, maybe even just 1%, of hyper successful individuals that are doing it so big, and they have an overwhelming number of women that are just kind of trying to throw themselves at these guys because they want them. They love the fact that these guys are actually doing something big with their lives. And then you're telling me that this guy is supposed to refuse. You're telling me that this guy, who previously was a part of the bigger 90-something percentile, suddenly jumped to the much smaller percentile that's supposed to refuse. It's not very easy. Fine, yes. People will say, you have to respect where it is that you came from, blah, 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 the people you came up with. But let's look at it from the reality of it. As a man, we've been taught, you don't pass up on pussy. And I'm going to even say that explicitly. We are not supposed to pass up on pussy. Because it's a chance that you don't get all the time, or at least we've been brought up to believe that it's a chance that you don't get all the time. So when it's there, you take it. Because if you don't take it, it's not going to look good for you. Because as guys, anytime you're in a dry spell, and I will even say this one from experience, anytime you're in a dry spell, you'll think about all the women that you turned down, and you'll be like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have taken advantage of that situation. Because we see women as an opportunity. Like the way the man's mind works, we see women as an opportunity. We see sex as a benefit. Now, to benefit from that opportunity is something that everyone wants to do. That's the logical way we see it. So when we don't get the full benefit from the opportunity, we will see it as, I kind of failed. So if you pass up on an opportunity of a very beautiful woman, let's say she's your type. I'm going to use me as an example. Let's say she's nice and thick, super curvy, very nice, pretty face, doesn't even require a lot of makeup on it. Hell, probably doesn't even require makeup at all. The booty popping and shit. And she's all up on me and she wants me to hit it. But there's a girl at home. And at that point in time, as I'm busy saying no, there's a bunch of other girls that look nearly the same. They pretty much fit that description as well, because everyone is individual. Person will look the same. And I'm thinking, I probably shouldn't. And as I'm busy passing up on these opportunities, I'm like, but what if I did it and made sure no one got to find out? Because that's how it gets. That's how it'll get. At first you'll be like, no, then you'll actually start contemplating. Then you'll be like, okay, but I need to do this private and shit. And then you'll start doing it, and then you'll start doing it some more. And then, if you can make people keep quiet, that works for you. But a lot of times stuff just starts spilling out. Or you'll just end up getting sloppy. And then shit hits the fan. So now, how exactly is it that you'll come and you'll tell this guy who has been brought to see women as opportunity and sex as benefit that they're supposed to pass up on that opportunity? I don't know. It's a bit hard. It's very, very hard to tell someone that. And when I hear someone, come back and say that, I am very apologetic about the fact that I cheated and the fact that I screwed up, at least you've taken responsibility. It's not that you've dragged your wife into anything, your ex-wife or your significant other through anything, but it's an admittance of doing something wrong. How many times will people come out in public and admit that they've done something wrong, especially if they haven't been called out on shit? Almost never. When you think about it, it's almost never. So whenever someone, especially women, come up and they're like, why do men, like cheat and then come back and act all apologetic online? Sometimes it's not a publicity stunt and they're just being apologetic and they're trying to leave a good lesson for the next incoming generation, as what Konshens was doing. If you actually look at the first 2, 3, 4 statements that he put up on that post, on the caption, they were pretty much reminiscent of him trying to tell other men, you know what, do not take your women for granted. And the thing is, even though women can come up and say, we also have hyper successful women who don't seem to have that same problem, y'all have it very different. Y'all don't even understand how different this shit is. Because as a guy, for us, when we're on top, there's more women trying to come for us. When we're on top, there's more attention that's being drawn to us. So it becomes harder to filter out and tell people, you know what, I can't. And especially as millennials nowadays, our internal level of restraint is just, it's weak. It's weak as hell. So you're telling us we stop, we look at all of these babes and we're like, nope, I'm going to stay faithful to the one that I have, the one that I've come up with. As much as we do appreciate the fact that we came up together, I've got to be straight up and honest with you. It's going to be hard for me not to cheat. But am I saying that people should cheat? No. No, they shouldn't. And there's a reason why men are more liable to cheat when they're successful than the women are. And I do want to explain that right about now so that I can get back to the whole reason why I feel like this is a good thing. And I feel as though some of the shit that people were saying was a little too much. So I wanted to go on and continue with this, but I can't fit all of it into one episode. So I figured, how about I split it into 2 episodes on part 2, and you will get the next bit on the next edition of it. It's a 2-parter. I will give you part 2 on Friday.